Well, we're joined now here on the green outside the House of Commons by the MP and Business Minister, Anna Soubury, who's voting to stay in, and the UKIP MEP and party leader, Nigel Farage, who will obviously be voting to leave. But the politician in you must have recognised what I mentioned to Gary earlier, which is Cameron probably made the best speech any of us have ever heard him make.
Yes, I mean, he was fighting for his life and he did it rather well. And I would agree with that. I thought he particularly, his critique of Boris was entertaining and very well done. My only problem with it is that he talks about this deal, he talks about this package, and he tells us that legally it's guaranteed, which it's not. So
let's get to the package in a moment.
I have trouble with the substance, but did he perform well? Yes.
By the same token, there was a lot of blue blood on the carpet. I mean, the Tories were utterly riven. And we knew it would be the case.
I don't agree with that.
What about Boris shouting rubbish?
Well, actually, I didn't hear that, and he wasn't that far behind me. I mean, I think, obviously, my party has, for many decades now, been at odds with itself about this. That's why I'm so delighted that we've given the British people the opportunity to have a referendum.
But aren't the British
people
paying the price?
And we will decide once... No, I don't agree.
Don't you think they're paying the price for your being riven?
Not at all. Not because we're riven, but because the country is divided. And I think what's going to happen, and what must happen now, is that we have a proper debate. And so we can debate why we should stay in, and I think we should, and I think it'll be even better for our country. We'll be safer, stronger, better off if we stay in. And we've also got to look at leaving, not just why we should leave, the argument that Nigel will advance, but also the consequences. And they have to tell us, what will this country look like? Because I know what it will look like if we're in. Farage, they have to tell us what it's going to be like if we're out.
He made a point just now that this deal was really no deal. And it was really, frankly, a bit of a charade.
No, actually, one of the interesting things was the number of people who have paid tribute to the deal, including in the Cabinet and today on the floor of the House of Commons from both sides. Yes, it is a real deal, and I think he's achieved much more than I ever thought he would. Well, I'm not going to be able to persuade Nigel. I'm not being rude. The people I want to persuade, the people who are watching this programme.
I thought 70 to 80 Tory MPs would back Britain leaving. I never in my wildest dreams imagined it was going to be 140 that had declared already. And the problem is, whatever you think of the deal, it's not legally enforceable. The European Parliament can strike it down. The European Court of Justice can well, no, legally, that's what I'm saying. Legally, this deal can be torn to pieces in Europe.
This deal will be actually entrenched, apparently gone through to the UN and beyond. But the most important is...
No, the most important thing is to...
the most important thing is to look at where we are in Europe. Have we made our position better in Europe? Absolutely. Should we stay in Europe? Absolutely. And also say this, for the last 30, 40 years, being a member of the European Union has been for the betterment of everybody in this country.
Well, he did repeatedly say, will be enshrined in the treaties.
Yes.
Yes, he's going to lodge it at the United Nations. Well, you may as well put a pair of old socks there, because that means nothing. And the point is, the European Court of Justice's job is to enforce the treaties. Now, in a few years' time, when there's another treaty, what you'll find is the people that he's agreed this with won't be there. They'll be gone. There'll be new presidents, there'll be new prime ministers, and I think it's very unlikely that these protocols will ever get into a European treaty.
The only person who's saying
would you be voting for them?
No, because actually, to write into a treaty...
Well, then why moan about it?
Exactly, it wouldn't make a scrap of difference to you.
Because the argument I'm making is this. I don't think the deal is very good, but whether it's good or bad, the fact is it is not deliverable. And that is the reason why more Tory MPs have moved in this direction.
The real debate is, what do these guys offer to the voters at home if we vote to leave?
Well, thank you.
What do people get? What will they get on June the 24th?
If we stay in...
And would they leave?
We stay in a club that is centralising at a rapid pace. We stay in a club which Turkey's joining within 5 years, if the German Chancellor gets her way. If we leave, do you know the one thing I can absolutely guarantee you, if we leave, is that building behind us and this nation will be self-governing, and we will not have,
Tell him,
as Michael Gove said, I thought the most telling comment so far in this campaign was Michael Gove saying that every day, every minister is told,
that's not true,
we're sorry, minister, we'd love to do this for you, but it's in breach of EU rules. Let me finish.
Nigel Farage,
now tell me it's wrong.
Let the lady speak.
Let us be very clear about this. Nigel is not answering the question. What will it look like if we leave? What will happen is this. It will take, at the minimum, 2 years to disentangle ourselves. And then where will we be? And what do you want? Do you want us to be a member of the single market?
No.
You don't?
No.
So you want us to be... You don't even want Norway's status, Iceland?
No.
So you want us to be a country completely alone in all the world?
Alone. Wouldn't that be awful? Independence, the word.
No.
Self-governing, making our own laws.
We are.
And
we
responsible.
do make our own laws.
I mean, when
Look,
the Prime,
you didn't
when the
let
Prime
me
Minister...
finish my point. He talks even more than I do.
I'm not sure that's true,
Give her another 20 seconds.
Can we just squash this absolute nonsense? It's quite, just not true that we don't make our own laws. Almost every day, every week. That's exactly what we do in that place. It's only when it's an issue of competence. And this is about 8 to 9%. So it's a myth to say that we don't make our own laws. And look at what Europe has given us. It's given us access to a single market. It's provided jobs and prosperity. It's meant that we have free trade and free movement of workers for the benefit of our people
I'm
as much as anybody
enough to
else.
remember how Britain was before we joined.
Absolutely.
Well,
New Zealand butter came from New Zealand.
Yes.
But does it matter?
No.
The point is this.
The
point
high
is this.
prices as
The point is
well.
this. We have locked ourselves into a political union that now, in terms of trade, forbids us, bans us from making up. We haven't even got to say. You can't shake your head yet. Bans
Because I
us
don't agree
from
with you about
making
locking
our
us
own
into political
trade
union.
deals.
That's not true
Our
either.
own trade deals. Well, we're in a political union. That's why it has a flag and an anthem.
But no,
That's why our Supreme Court over the road there can be overruled by a court in Luxembourg,
only on a very
staffed by
small
people
number of
who are
things.
not even judges. And for you to tell the viewers that only 8 to 9% of our laws are made in
Okay.
Brussels
No, it's
is
not
frankly
laws. It's not laws.
laughable.
That's not laws. It's only issues
even
of
Gordon
competence.
Brown admitted it was 50%.
No, it's...
Nigel,
I'm sorry, there's a big
allow
distinction
Anna Soubry
between
now.
laws and
Well,
then
she's
when
done
the
most of it.
courts look at some instances when it's an issue of competence and say whether it's compatible. But the most important thing is, if you are concerned about political union, actually what we've got in this New Deal is specifically excludes us from it. So no, we cannot have those judgments put on us if it's a race towards political union and that test is implied. That's absolutely there.
Every single
That's an
European Union
astonishing
directive,
achievement.
and every single directive that goes through from the Commission, through the European Parliament to the Council, every single one of them increases the political power of the European project.
A final question to you both. You've both talked very eloquently about different ways of doing things and laws and the rest of it. Do you think anybody at home has been able to make up their minds of yes or no as a result of what you've said?
Well, I hope they understand from me one thing. If we leave, we will be self-governing and responsible for our own future.
And from you?
I don't think that's true or accurate, and I'm looking forward to when we publish all the details of all the options. Look, we're safer, we're stronger, we're going to be better off staying in the European Union, and more than this, we're going to be leading the reform. We're no
Anna
longer a
Soubry.
petulant child. We're going to be a fully grown adult playing a full part
Anna
in making sure we
Soubry.
have a better EU.
Nigel Farage, thank you both very warmly. Thank you for coming out.